Alright, so for today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the Milwaukee Tools USA-made Linesman Pliers. Now, the model number for these is MT500. Now, these are the new kid on the block in Home Depot, and I would assume in some of the electrical supply houses out there. But I know for a fact that the new kid on the block at Home Depot, as they have pretty much started to kick out Klein tools. But this is Milwaukee's introduction tools to the USA market. So these are their USA-made Linesman Pliers. Now, I did previously test their Chinese-made Linesman Pliers, and I wasn't happy with those, and never really made a video about them again. But when I saw that Milwaukee Tools was going to start coming out with some of their USA-made hand tools, I figured I'd might as well give them a try and see how they are. So I picked a couple of these up from a couple pairs of their USA-made tools at Home Depot, and I'm bringing you some videos on them. So here are one of the variations of Linesman Pliers that they do make. Now, they do sell this in a comfort grip handle as well. Those currently aren't available at aren't available in store. I would assume, but I'm not 100% sure, but once they finally clear out all of the remaining Klein stock that they have, that you will start to see some of the comfort grip versions, and possibly some of the other different variations of the tool that they have coming. So with that being said, we'll take a look at this pair right here. So this is just the standard red dipped handles on the tool, which is nice. And one thing I do like about this is they all come with a hole here on the end. So if you needed to tether off your tool, if you were working at height with the tool, you could put a tether device through there, and you would be able to tether their tool off. So all of their pliers come with that on there, whether it's comfort grip or the dipped handles. So that is a nice feature. And you have a nice smooth dip handle, which is nice. And then you come up to the business end of the tool. You got the USA made right there. You have the Milwaukee tool name laser etched on the surface. And then you have your rivet, your nice opening right there. Pretty simple on this side, and then on the back side you got some warnings, and you also have your product number right there. So this is just to tell you that the tool is not insulated and that you want to wear some eye protection when using the tool. So that's pretty much it for the detail on the tool. We'll take a look at the teeth on the tool, and I have been playing around with these pliers for a little bit before I decided to make this video. So you do have a nice cross-hatching design there on the back of, or excuse me, on the nose of the plier. If we can get the camera to focus there, of course it won't, but you do have a nice cross-hatch design both on the top and bottom jaw of the plier, and then you do have a fairly nice sized cutting edge right there. Now this pair, and I'm not sure about their other pairs, but this pair does not have any teeth below the rivet joint. So if you needed to pull a fish tape, or if you're trying to grip something like that, you are not going to be able to do it with this specific pair of pliers. Now, I'm not sure if their other pairs are going to have teeth back there or not, or maybe they're going to come out with a newer pair like that. But this specific pair does not have teeth back there, so you couldn't really, use it to grip fish tape or anything. Since it's a smooth surface, it would just slip right off. So that's pretty much it for the detail on the tool. I guess we get to some of the functionality of the tool. So the main thing is, how sharp are those cutting knives? And can they cut through some wire? And they definitely can indeed cut through wire without any issue. And I do find that on some stranded wire, some places on the cutting jaws, they can't quite get through all the insulation. They get through the copper, no problem, but it's that outer insulation on the wire that I feel it struggles to get through with. See if we can get this on camera. But there is kind of a little bit of a gap. It might be a little bit hard to see on camera, but when you do hold it up to a light, there is a little bit of a gap on the jaws, but that's, nothing too crazy to write home about or complain about, as all different kinds of pliers have that issue. So that's cut. You can see it cuts through stranded wire without an issue. We'll go ahead and bring in some solid wire, and when you cut through solid wire, it has no issue at all. Cuts through it like it's butter, which is nice. So we'll get that out of the way, and we'll bring in some Romex wire here, some 12-2 with grounds, and we'll see if we can cut through this, which we should be able to. And you literally have no effort when it goes to cutting through it. You don't have to apply that much pressure cutting through the Romex wire, which is nice. So we'll go ahead and clear that out of the way. Now, I'm not 100% sure. I would assume that the cutting jaws or the cutting knives on these are rated to cut through screws, because typically a pair of Linesman pliers, especially for the electricians out there, they do like to use them to cut cut the machine screws for their boxes and faceplates and things like that. So we're going to see if we can cut through a 632 and an 832 screw. So go ahead and do the 632 screw first, and we'll see if we can do this one-handed. And we are able to do that one-handed without an issue. So that was the 632 screw. I'll get rid of that guy. And now we'll try the 832 screw and see if we can do it one-handed as well. So we'll go ahead and cut this guy and hold the screw. And you can indeed cut that screw without an issue. So that's definitely a nice plus. It's going to be interesting to see how well these hold up over time. See if they're on the same quality as Knipex and Klein. Considering that they kicked Klein out of Home Depot, it'll be interesting to see if they start to, once they clear out all the rest of the Klein stock, if they will bring in some of the other offerings of the lineman plier from Milwaukee. I know they have a pair that has a crimper, and I believe it has a fish tape puller and some 632 and 832 screw cutters on it. I believe it comes in both comfort grip and the dipped handles of those variations. So it will be interesting to see if they bring those in stock. And it'll also be interesting to see if they bring out some smaller variations of the lineman's pliers, kind of like Klein has, where they have that small 7-inch pair and they have the 8-inch pair. Be interesting to see if Milwaukee does do something like that, because on their diagonal cutters, they also have, for the diagonal cutters, they have the 8-inch pair, and then I believe they have a little tiny 6-inch pair. So it'll be interesting to see if they make a little bit smaller of a size linesman plier. But this is the first offering, I guess you could say, of some of their USA tools that I have. Currently at home, at least my Home Depot, they have the linesman pliers, the 8-inch diagonal cutters, and then the 8-inch needle nose pliers. I did also pick up the diagonal cutters, so I will make a video here soon on those, showing you those, but I decided to make a video on these guys just to show you how they were and give you kind of my first impressions on them. And I am looking forward to using them. Probably going to throw these in my install bag and see how well they hold up compared to my Knipex that I've been using since I've pretty much started doing heating and cooling. So it'll be interesting to see how well these hold up and if I have any issues with them. But so far, I've been pretty happy with them. With that being said, that's all I have for this video. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. And if you enjoy the content, please consider giving it a thumbs up. But that's all I have for this video.